Morning world, welcome to Tuesday the 9th of June. Oh, that's better. I haven't done much today apart from driving all around the countryside looking at trees. I kind of got a day off from routine farm work today because most of the cattle are out. The cattle are in the shed, have got plenty to eat, got plenty of water, everything's happy. The sheep have got plenty to eat and plenty of water, they're all happy. So it was a bit of time off doing a look at trees. But I thought I'd just mention, yesterday I bought back a box of new hats. Not quite the same as this, but very nearly identical to this. And I posted up on my Instagram to say they were in. With another little item, we've got some little metal key rings. This all comes from the people who do our mugs and that. So local business, we're doing our very best with whatever merchandise we're doing. We're not shipping out from miles and miles away. We're trying to keep it all within 10 miles of home. So whatever you're buying, your money isn't just supporting me, it's supporting my local economy. And that's kind of how I like it. Could I get stuff cheaper somewhere else? Yeah, probably. Am I going to? No, because like I say, in supporting me, you're supporting my local economy. But yeah, the key rings crumbs, they were well received. I don't know, my wife is at to shoot out now. Mrs. P, by the way, has taken on the packaging and posting because allegedly I've missed a few. Allegedly, a few people have had a toy short or a wrong mug or the wrong size t-shirt or whatever it is, and because I packed it and posted it, my fault. So anybody who gets anything from me, I always sign the sales slip so you know who packed it. So yeah, if you haven't received something that you're supposed to have got, it would have been my fault if that bit of paper is signed. So anyway, Mrs. P's on the case now, so she's doing it now. So if it's wrong now, it's no longer my fault. Apart from the fact that it will be my fault because I started all this off and gave her another job, and you know, whatever happens is going to be my fault. The rest of you gentlemen out there will understand. I expect you ladies will too. So yeah, going back to hats, I had a few requests on my Facebook page, on Instagram. With the ladies, well, 3 or 4 ladies actually asking if I would do something for them, not just the black and red, because they didn't want that. So I listened, and I have now ordered 20, so only a limited number to start off with, aqua blue ones, which is a sort of a lighty blue, and pink. I'm not sure about having a pink Farmer P logo. I'm not sure quite how I feel with it, but providing it's the ladies wearing it, that's what you want, that's what we'll try and do for you. So not sure it'll fit or suit gentlemen, although I bet there's a few out there that would wear it, and if that's what they want to do, crack on. So anyway, Mrs. P's shot off because I don't think her mum's very well, and left me here with 5 bags. Is it 5 or 6 bags of merchandise with a little note saying, I packed it, you can post it. So I'm going to try and do a few more visits to look at people's trees this afternoon, and en route go and visit my lovely ladies at Fallfield Post Office, who are actually now pleased to see me. I think we've got to know each other now. There's a little bit less eye rolling, and God, it's him again now. We've come to this thing where she opens the thing, I put it all through, and then she can just do it at her leisure, and that works for me. I go back next day with the next lot, and she gives me the tickets from the day before, and you know, it works. It means there's not queues of people behind me. Anyway, So, where are we going next? We are forecast rain this week. If we hadn't been forecast rain, and I'm not complaining because I want it, we have decided that we are going to cut the avenue field. We were only going to cut 1/2 to make sure I had enough grazing, but I got a funny feeling if the weather continues like it is now, we're kind of going to be okay, because the grass down there is kind of keeping up with the cattle now, and the sheep are going to Itchington, so we've grazed that side of the farm, we're grazing the bottom left hand corner, we'll graze the right hand. The sheep have got to come over back over this side before the weekend or at the weekend, because we've got a load of archers coming out chucking arrows everywhere on Sunday. But we've decided now that we are going to cut most or all of the avenue and all of Pigeon Mead and the little paddock end of road, and what we've already got in stock from last year, we should be somewhere close to our target of a total of 200 bales. Should. If not, then it's just going to be a case of speak to Mr. Kingston next door, and please would you come and throw some more fertiliser on. Well, all of it, I suppose. Well, we'll see what the weather's doing, but definitely Pigeon Mead and possibly the avenue, and we may have to go for a second cut later in the year. We'll see. So that's the plan. I'm not doing anything today involving tractors or machinery or anything really very farmy. So far, this video has been me sat in a chair talking to you. Riveting. There you go. Anyway, so I'm going to, well, I've drunk my coffee now. I'm now going to spend 20 minutes filling in the job book for everything I looked at this morning. It is 1:45. I'm then going to go in the house, do a bit of editing for tonight's video, and then later on I will go out and do some more stuff. And if it's faintly interesting, I'll invite you to come with me. There you go. Right then, onwards and upwards. Well, yeah, I've got to look at that too, and we do quite a bit for the county, so that's one that I actually forgot. So there's a nice lady from the County Council rang me out and said, "Did you forget that?" And I said, I don't remember it," which is another way of saying, yes, I forgot it. Anyway, we'll go and look at that this afternoon. Maybe you can come with me and look at that. Maybe. I was just about to put that lot in my van, ready for this afternoon's postage, and we had a delivery. So there's me thinking, God, what they've been blinking buying now, because we seem to have Amazon and deliveries of all sorts of stuff from my girls constantly during the day. And then I realised it's actually for me. So I happen to know what's in here because they told me it was coming. Do you remember a week or so back I sent off our old electric fencer for repair? Well, it turned out the motherboard was gone on it. To replace the motherboard was £180, I think it was. Or I could have a brand new one from the same company, which I will reveal to you as, well, it's AL fencing, and there's a receipt for it. £140 for a brand spanking new one. And what we got in here? We have got, oh, I like Union Jack. More rubbish. We've got ourselves a brand spanking new mains powered electric fencer. A bloody phone. Excuse me. Well, that looks like a pretty good solid job to me. Not sure how I'm going to hang it up. The other one hung on the wall a bit easier, but it's got a handle. I'll find a way. So that is our new mains energizer, which will go do everything on the left hand side of the field. That's come at the right time because we'll be moving cattle soon, and it means I've no longer got to rely on battery powered energizers, because we've already got electric fence all down the side of the field, and we can just literally strip graze straight off this. So, right then, okay, brilliant. That looks a good job. We'll put it up there. Or more like tomorrow, actually. Right. It is 3 minutes to dinner time. I'll see you later. Well, it's getting towards the end of the day. It's 7:15. A couple of spots of moisture in the air. But I think before it gets any heavier, we're going to go and take a look at the grass at Pigeon Mead, aren't we? Come on in. Always look first. Right, so many of you will recognise this as the piece of grass that we had reseeded this year. Rabbits! Rabbits! Where are they? Rabbits! And I topped it because, well, the new grasses weren't coming through, and the old grasses, which was mainly oat grass, were drowning everything out. Everything is now coming to seed head. It looks like a lot of our reseeding has germinated and come up, but we haven't had any rain, so it simply hasn't managed to get away. But this crop now, I reckon, if we can mow this next week and get it in, blooming stuff, we can, I think there's probably 50 bales out here. And if we get some rain and perhaps we throw a bit more fertilizer out, maybe we'll get another 50 later in the year, or 40. So I think with this piece of ground, the avenue in front of our house and hopefully a second cut, we'll have enough this year. We didn't get another piece of ground over at the other farm. That went to somebody else in the end. We decided that, well, I think the decision was made for us. Somebody else was having that. Anyway, looks good from up here. From down there, not quite so much. It just needs rain. Everything needs a bit of rain. Hopefully tomorrow or Thursday we're going to get some. And maybe that'll make a difference to this. But it's all going to seed. Again. That's it. She'll come belting over here and she'll be coughing and kecking now because she's full of blooming seeds and pollen. Come on. Come on. Rabbits aren't down here, they're up there. Come on. This is where the rabbits are. In fact, I can see 2, 3 sat out there now, and one's just got a hedge. They've pretty much grazed this bit tight. No grass here. She's heading straight towards one. It's just the joy in her jump, and she spots a rabbit, then it disappears and says, where's he gone? Right, well there's something I don't want out here. I don't want you. And I know I should have gloves on for this, but right, I got most tuber. Gosh, stinking stuff. That's ragwort. We definitely don't want that in the crop. Come on. So we're going to wander down and see the cattle in a minute and check on the grazing down there. But on the way past, I'm just going to check my pins. So those of you who've been watching will know we've stacked the hay straight to the barn because we're pretty sure it was dry enough, it was okay. But it's always worthwhile just being on the cautious side. So we use road pins. Cold, that's what we like, nice cold pin. And you are, oh cold, hang on, you're stuck, that's what you are. You're cold too. 2 cold pins. So this is a real easy way of making sure that your hay isn't getting hot. Literally just half a dozen road pins scattered amongst the bales, just checking you've got no damp bits. He's cold too. Right, I've already done that one. So you can go back in there. And finally, yep, all cold. So all my pins are cold. Good news, hay is dry. Right, let's go and check some cattle. So the grass at Pigeon Mead kind of wants cutting. It's not going to get much better. Probably even with a good dose of rain on, it's not going to get much better than it is now. So if we're going to get a few dry days next week, we will cut that, and I dare say we'll cut that piece out there at the same time, get it made. Rabbits, Biscuit, go on, rabbit, go on, go on. Can you not see it? Go on. Now she sees it. Always too late. Always too late. I suppose I have got an advantage being a bit higher than her, so. Right, cattle have taken down most of this. Again, a bit of fresh rain on there will help bring that back, because the sheep are coming out here Friday or Saturday. That's the plan, and the cattle are going to be moved over. I'm either going to give them all of that bottom left hand field, which might just be the option because they got the water tank down there and they got more options of shelter, or I'll just give them the other half. We'll see. Again, that's going to depend on what the weather's doing. But for now, we're just going to go and see how much of the half of the field that I gave them earlier they've chewed off. And then decide again with the mob grazing scheme, do I just, they've been on that, they would have been on that for 2 weeks, to take them off and put them on the next bit. But if they haven't finished it, I'm surprised the grass is keeping up, to be honest. I never thought it would. Well, they've certainly grazed this bottom paddock off fairly tight. Bit of rain to do this power good. So they're ready to be shut out of here now. The only reason they're still in here is because they, oh, what are you eating, you dirty? What are you eating? Come here. You swallowed it now, haven't you? You grubby little bugger. What have you been eating? Don't think you'll be licking my face later on, you stinker. Where was I? Oh yeah. The reason I haven't shut the cattle out of here already is because at the moment this is access to water. Those tanks are now empty. They've drunk the rainwater tank dry. So the only mains water, I could connect it to that blue pipe there, but right now I don't mind them coming up to the farm at the top and drinking it there. Because it means I get to see them coming up and down every day. And when they troop up and down here, if there's anything lame or not looking very well, it's easy to spot even from the house. But when I take this bit of fence down, this electric, if I give them all of this field, they've then got access to a water tank over there that's both rainwater and mains water. So I've kind of got the options. I'll shut this off and the sheep can come out here and just have a tidy up. But they've not really made a big impression on that. It's definitely Looks greener that side, but it hasn't been trampled on. So do I just give them the whole piece? It's probably the easiest thing. Give them all of this. They can stay out here for another 2 weeks, and I'll graze that out there for 2 or 3 weeks. By which time, hopefully, the golf course will have recovered a bit. They can go out there for 2 or 3 weeks, and I can start cycling around basically 2 weeks per piece. That's the plan, if the weather allows it. Okay, well, they're not going hungry out here anyway. Thing is, if they don't eat enough of the bottom out, I end up having to top it, and that's waste. I might have to consider changing my topper. You still working? Yeah. Plenty of oomph in there. Okay. Right, it is 7 o'clock. I've got about another hour and a half editing to do for tonight's video. So I think that's, apart from shutting the poultry in, that's the last job for the day. Right, we'll just check the tanks. Yeah, he's definitely empty. Must have that out of there while I can. Not sure quite how that got in there. That can come up the farm with me. That'll do. Okay, the bucket's up there in case I ever have to bail it out, but as long as I keep drinking it, it stays fresh enough. It's not necessary. They made a couple of good tracks up through here. Okay, on that note, I'm going to say good night. I'm going to thank you all for watching, staying to the end. If you haven't done so already, press the subscribe button, and if you enjoy what you watch, press the like button. Those of you who press the dislike button, well, you're probably not here, you're probably already gone, but well, that's up to you, isn't it? On that note, folks, see you tomorrow.